Awesome. I hope everybody has had a good week. Mine has been... It's been okay. It's been okay. Apart from the weather. Weather's been horrendous. The most just storms and wind and rain. And it's really sunny right now. And raining. I know. So, what do we have planned today? Actually, I have no idea. What? Earn income from your fans. Oh, this sounds exciting. I clicked on tell me more. It's thinking. It's still thinking. Wait, but my channel is monetized, isn't it? Your fans pay for special perks. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, so Twitch, YouTube are, I'll say copying, seems a bit mean. YouTube are doing more of these things. Oh, I might do that in the background. Anyway, where are we at? So, this is what people are asking me what I'm watching cues to say. So on the right we have what FortressCraft is now. On the middle we have the first improved visual quality step, and I'll be what's the word? I'm unsure if that's going to get me what I want. As I said, the goal of FortressCraft 2 is it doesn't look like FortressCraft 1. That's kind of the goal. Left hand side is, it's probably dual contouring. There's a number of techniques. It's probably dual contouring on the left, and that would be potentially where I would like to go. The only problem is, if this is 100 fast, this is 75, and this is 15. There are major performance drops doing this, but it does look better, as with everything. Right. Glorious coffee. So the plan is I'm going to be doing some further work on the base. Now, one of the things that doesn't work currently is the power light. So let's fix that. I need to work out where I did that. So again, part of the goal is this first 5-minute experience. Interestingly, after I streamed this last, I played Satisfactory, and holy shit, Satisfactory's intro is exactly the same as this, which is crazy because I haven't seen Satisfactory. So yeah, I did this intro sequence with the drop pod and you're inside, and then they have an intro sequence with the drop. Yes. Anyway, so I want to try and find where I turn the power light off and turn it on. Put it. Where have I put this? Ah. Be required. Bum. If script.player. Oh, what's it called? Spawn then has updates. That should fade it up. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I've forgotten to... Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Where's it gone? Create your perks. What will you provide for your members? They pay $4.99 a month. Oh god, this looks interesting. So yeah, so YouTube have actually done what? I miss Arthur's old comments. Yeah, so I've got to add in perks for my subscribers. And it's suggesting some other people, but like I don't really have anything to offer. Exclusive. Oh god, that's really loud. I cannot stand channels that start off by playing music at you. And now the oh, have I got to hit subscribe? No. Unsubscribe, join. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I guess the idea is I could do I don't know if it's worth it. It's just, I have to say, I'm not really a streamer. I'm a secret maps. Our favourite food spots in Japan we don't normally share. What the fuck? I don't know. Really? I'm just going to put one in just because I've got one. Okay, so I'll do that. Before sending your perks review, okay, yeah, I only want one. Now, what email address am I signed in? This is that one. I have submitted my channel for review. The button doesn't need to work. Woo! It's interesting. They do, like, I guess people do care. I wouldn't care, but hey. Am I in? I'm a bit confused, by the way. Why? Oh, I think there's a full stop in it. Word only meant to the base. Text 2. There we go. Yeah. Oh wow. Tutorial section complete. Interesting. That doesn't seem to be working. That should advance it all the way to the end. And then we hit now fuck off. It hides the windows. That should complete the tutorial. Oh no! Around the chat. Oh god, it wants me to log into my Restream account. I don't know. I hate websites. Please hold. Restream. My password is... Of course it is. And my email address is this one. Please select all images with parking meters. Yeah, you know I'm English. I don't know if I genuinely actually. Hold on, I'll set that in Discord. Like, is the bottom right one? I don't know. I don't know. What do I know about parking meters? I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, why not? Okay. Project games, FortressCraft Phoenix. Right, let's run that through again. It gives the researcher that one, sets the state to fuck off, sets the saves the world settings. Okay, let's run through that and we'll see whether or not it's actually flagging the tutorial as complete. Okay, I'm going to try log in again. Okay. Well, only met to the base. Okay, pause and exit. Oh, okay, that does work fine. Maybe I just didn't close the game properly. I do like my base. It's not perfect. And I don't know what's going on with the... Some lights flashing? Still lots to do. Lots and lots to do. What I was going to think was looking at the base report stuff. Okay. Unity Base Manager, okay. Okay. Hide the server. No. Mission prefab. No. Mission count. No. What? Would be no result found. Shut up. Thank you. Okay, so that's interesting. So we do less than 600 and we don't return out of that. I will try and do the missions, Zebra, if you're watching, mate. I will try and keep these... is it %1, I think? No, how do we format the strings? It's I should have done more of this. And I apologise for not having done so. Okay, so it's string dot format. Bugger, what was it? This isn't get string. If anyone is talking, by the way, it's not working currently. It might be working, but no one said anything. Oh, cool. If it's working, yeah, cool. Andy, thank you. Mission offline, comma. And it'll be 120 minus that. So if I sound a bit croaky today, I I breathed in quite a lot of horrendous dust last night. I can't show you a picture, but I spent my evening at a local arcade cleaning Mortal Kombat machines, and they were fucking filthy. And one of them was just covered in nicotine stains. So, yes. That's why I sound a bit grotty today, as I was coughing and sneezing quite a lot from the horrible... I also ate way too many Pringles, so my mouth still tastes salty. Lovely, lovely Pringles. Okay, cool. Well, that should hopefully work. Let's check it. So, for example, I don't currently have any support for any sort of interactable from the player, so I need to consider how I'm going to do that. I had to say, by the way, I don't think Dwarf Fortress is going to do very well on Steam. I think people forget Dwarf Fortress is a game that is played by a... It's very well known, but it is played by very few, very dedicated people. Oh. Why isn't that working? Whereas when it's going to be on Steam, as I have shown and demonstrated and talked about many a time, you've got the issue that zero. Right, well that's a problem. Yeah, they're only going to sell it once to each person. So far, Dwarf Fortress isn't, because they were going on about, apparently they need money for a family member's medical things, because America. But it's weird because, like, very few people actually play Dwarf Fortress, and it's a bit different because currently it's a free game, and that's important to note. It's free. Yeah, so let's look at their Patreon. This is the thing. They're currently running quite a good Patreon. What's that? 100 and... I can't... Let me not even try and do that in my head. 6.5 times 12. 70, 80 grand a year Patreon, so that's not bad. Plus donations. They haven't really done a very good job there. But yeah, having it on Steam means you only get to sell that once. Okay. Might be my little cheat. Sprint. Oh, actually, hold on. The world. No, they're a top time simulator. So yeah, I don't think it's going to do very well because fundamentally, Dwarf Fortress is not a very good game. It's complicated. It's obtuse. I've played it loads. I love it. Doesn't mean it's a good game. And I think its audience are a very bit like FortressCraft. Are a very tiny number, relatively speaking, of very dedicated players. And that's not what you need on Steam. What you need on Steam is a huge amount of fairly unconcerned players, and no, they'll make money certainly. I'll probably pick up a copy. I mean, I've played Dwarf Fortress loads. But it's one of those. It's very much like, I would say, like Kerbal. I like it. I can't ever see myself. Oh, but I meant to get rid of that line. I like it, but I cannot see myself ever recommending it to anybody else. Apart from a tiny number of very nerdy people I know who would already like it. Huh. Yeah. No, you see, Mega Power, the thing is, there aren't enough people to do that. You'll get a few people who recommend it and love it, I'm sure, but you'll get an awful lot more people going, what is this? So we'll take Minecraft as a better example because it's a bit more widely known. So Minecraft, as we all know, is incredibly popular and successful. However, it has one of the lowest attach rates in the industry. It has a horrendous attach rate because loads of people play Minecraft because their mates are playing it. And that's not the... Oh, that's really no. I can't actually update that. Huh. So yeah, if Minecraft was on Steam, it would have a huge amount of positive and a huge amount of negative. So there are far more people who play it go, what is this crap, than go, I really, really love it. I'm trying to think how to do this. Okay, Pete, I'll keep an eye. Wait, I'm seeing a Twitch message. I'm seeing all the messages, we're just not getting the chat relink. How's the cat cam? Oh, he's fine. Okay. Okay, ln% mod equals No, hold on. Let's try displaying float ln%/100f to string and a bunch of braces. Might work, might not, don't know. We might get a little bit of crossover. Are you having weather, Pete? Is that what's going on? Every 12 seconds, that's not working, is it then? Oh, yeah. I'm so dumb. Alright, I'm going to go and get some coffee because I have drunk the coffee I've had. So back in a minute, I'm just going to leave this picture up. No, I'm not, because I've lost it. I'm going to grab some coffee, yeah. Ah, I see, I see. Right here, by the way, the weather is it's actually really nice. It looks lovely out there, and it stopped raining, so that's good. So it's blazing sunshine, looks absolutely lovely. And I just asked Alexa what the weather would be, and she said, "Warning, flood alert." And I'm like, I think I'm probably good on that, actually. Oh. I'm just checking. I can't work out the hell she's getting flood alert from. Like, it's going to rain tonight. Holy shit, 50-mile-an-hour winds though. See, I always, when the weather's like this, I always do look outside and think, oh, maybe I could go out and ride my bike. And then I look up at this 50-mile-an-hour winds and go, yeah, maybe not. Okay, braces. And that should quantize it down into 10%. Possibly Andy, but I don't think I'm going to get a flood here. All right, 12 seconds. It's actually the same in the UK, Peter. I actually had a discussion with my landlord, and I'm like, because they said, oh, I should do it. And I was sort of saying, are you genuinely expecting me, genuinely, to get up on a ladder on the outside of your house? I'm going to fix that. Fix that. It's a nice shader. It does what I want. But it needs to... Oh, I think I just want to flip to this shader. Yeah. Oh, no. Nope. Continuity crash. It's taken 12 seconds to duplicate a file so far. And rename that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm bored now. Yeah, I know a guy who actually does clean gutters over here, and when I first, I mean, this was years ago, but I got my drone. He looked at it, and went, "What is that?" I go, "It's a drone." He goes, "That's so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, you can see it in real time down to my iPad. What's going on?" He's like, so yeah, he bought a drone, like quite a nice drone, for his work, so he could instead of saying to the customer, "Oh, you definitely need it," he could just fly the drone up and say, "There you go. You can see it in real time. You can see your gutters and you're doing." which was great. I'm a little confused, by the way. What's going on? Ah, here we go. Col on Z right on. Parse error. Huh? Oh, if I do Z right on, that might be enough. No. Is it less or greater? I can't remember now. Yeah, that is now correctly culling. And we don't have any Z fighting, so good. You two, dude, don't drown. Oh, cool. YouTube have approved my perks. Excuse me. Anyway, I'll get Todd to do me some emojis and badges for my channel thing. Ma, 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 ma. Oh, to get Todd's... Yeah, see, unfortunately, Todd and I, we are spread a bit thin, so we're on 3 projects at the minute. Plus, you know, YouTube things. What I'll do is, if something's timing out, I will remove it. Mission manager. Okay, if MA missions I dot that should hopefully do it, because I'm reworking the mission system. The mission system itself is fine because it has quite a clever system. I can throw everything at it and it will pick the most important missions. It does quite a lot of clever stuff. What? Oh, I'm not in the base. Yeah, that didn't count as being inside the base. Not quite though. So I got ready to break point in. Right, so we've got 2 missions at this point. Let's see what they are. Incidentally, by the way, and I guess it's probably a little bit early in the morning, if anyone does have any feedback, patrons specifically, then I am... is it less than 1? I think it's less than 1. Time remaining... Oh. It's something like is less than 80%. Because we're putting it always up there with a 1 second timeout. Actually, I could probably put it up there with almost a virtually 0 timeout. Because you won't see it. So do it like that. As long as you don't drop below 10 frames a second, you're good. Ba-ba-bum. Yeah, nearly. So the problem is that the mission system has no current it could do, I guess. So the mission system is designed so I can have 1,000 things going on and it works out the most important one. I'm just wondering about the ability to generate a mission and then hold on to it. Like, or I need to do something like at 10, say, capacitors charging, and at 9, say, blah, 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 or an 8, say, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to implement this without a completely new mission system. Or a single mission that's always active. That might work. So what that would be, it would be the Unity-based manager owns a mission and it will look after the mission. We'll call it base status mission. Okay, so if mbase status mission equals null, mbase status mission equals mission manager instance.add mission. Alright, so hopefully that should, and we'll hide this as that, but that should allow me to have a mission that's just base status without having to sort of fiddle with anything, because we only ever want one base status, power offline, blah 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 blah. Alright, so we should get a message that says set this, yeah, and it should stay here, cool. And that will last forever and will always be there. The actual mission system will be going. Okay, else we should be able to just do I'll be able to quantize anymore. What? Yay! I don't know what's going pup 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 pup. And I'll also be doing the same thing on here. Text mesh. This will need to be funneled for clients, probably. This will be called Unity. Let rename stuff. Oh, for God's sake. base analysis in progress. And mouse cursor, come on Unity. Yeah. So how am I going to do the power? Right now I don't have any way of interacting with the base. So I'm suspecting I'm going to need a bunch of base machines, or a base machine with a number of values. I don't know. I'm trying to think how I'm... Because I want you to be able to turn the lights off and on. What I want to do, I realize I'm thinking quietly here. What I want to do is the player will have to do a number of things. Wow, seriously, Unity? Sort order fail? So the user will come in and there'll probably be a big door across this. That might actually pop in this wall. So what I'm So what I'm suggesting here is a I need to put these in the root, so I need a let's create a parent for them. So we're going to call this map room wall. Again, what I suspect will happen is Andy and Todd will end up redoing this. That's the goal anyway. The plan is I'm basically just doing more or less how I think it should work, not how it will work. So what I'm suggesting is that the player, when they first join in, when they first enter the base, it looks like this. I swear, Andy, whoever made this asset pack needs to be shot. Like I said, things are. This is the one where they're all like, I think these pieces are like 1.37 meters or something. They're completely and weirdly arbitrary size. Stuff like this. So now this doesn't tile, not even slightly. Yeah, so something like this. So the player comes in, blah, 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 and they're directed straight forwards to the machine. And then once they've done that... Oh, well, no, vert dragging's a pain, because then it all ends up higgledy-piggledy. Yeah, so this is all vert dragged, Andy. The problem is, once you finish vert dragging, yeah, you vert drag all the way along here, and then you vert drag all the way along here, and then you realise that this corner doesn't line up. Because it's not tile-based. It's bloody awful. It's absolutely... It looks alright, but it's awfully put together. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, the screen is probably... Yeah, so something like that. So when the player joins in, it's a straightforward, you have to go this way type thing. They don't have to... They don't have to make any decisions. And then once that's done... this will just go... That will just slide down, so then the player gets access to stuff. And then there's another one on this side. It's an interesting bug bite. If you put a mesh exactly inside another mesh, for some reason it gets brighter. I can't really lie, but I mean, it has to be exactly inside it gets brighter, and I don't know why. But I should be able to do it. I won't be. I should be able to drag it on an even set of verts to there. Yeah, can't you see what I mean, Andy? Like, it just doesn't line up at all. But yeah, I suspect Andy will be tasked at some point in the future with making... This is getting really expensive to draw now. There's just so many bits to it. So yeah, I suspect Andy will get tasked with making it more efficient in the future. And ditto with the main menu. We'll try and do a better job of the main menu as well this time. As I pointed out last time, the idea was with the FortressCraft main menu is that I made a main menu and then our artist Hover would fix it, would actually do a good job of it and make it properly and spend more time on it. It's not the scales, Andy. Look. Can you see how many components this is made out of? It's just untenable. So I'm more suspecting you might have to take the base, export it, collapse it into a single mesh, because we can't do static stuff, sort of. Unfortunately. So, yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, you can't do the whole thing. You have to do the whole thing by material. But it's something like that. But it's not a... excuse me. It's not a massive worry today or anything like that. But it will be something we will need to do. I'm mostly just trying to get the feel of this right more than anything else. And get the layout right and just do all that thing. Yeah, so this is what I'm kind of suggesting. The player comes in, blah, blah, for the first time, and that's it. And they have to walk towards this, click, and then the walls drop down. Door open, walk towards, click, done. Something like that. Something like that. Wait, were those? I don't remember seeing those ceilings. Let's have another look. Oh, they are there. Okay, cool. I don't actually... Oh, it's the lights there. Yeah, so the CPH won't be staying. Obs. Oh, how can we have a mission called set this? Oh, yeah, we... No, wait, what? Anyway, don't matter. They will be disappearing. Oh, now, how did we previously do that? Morning, Salath. I'm all right. I'm looking at the weather and going, weather looks nice. What I might do, you see, is just start to rework the these things. Where do we actually... No. Well, I might just do a activate CPH. And then instead of just blitzing through, so now what will happen is you have to go and use CPH. You don't know that. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's well, it's the weather's weird today. I'm not sure if I'm streaming the whole day. I might be popping out in a couple of hours. I don't know. See how I feel. I've just got so much else on. I might need to deal with some of that. Sadly, I'm still. Mixer emailed me today going, "Hey, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you." Okay. Hey, Pusscar. Anyway, so now the player has to get past activate CPH. Pushkins. I'm being harassed by a cat. I'm not removing the CPH. The CPH, no, the CPH will become the base control management system or something. So Todd and I have to have quite a long decision talk about how the UI works. Now, part of the problem is that part of the problem is that what is best for me is not best for modders. So part of the reason the UI in FortressCraft looks a bit shitty is it has to all be built out of components so that mod authors can still do it. My cat is being harassing. Yeah, so when we open up the central power hub, where is that? It might be in the of course. Where's this used? Yeah, okay. We predicate actually quite a lot off the concept of what tutorial state the player's in, which is possibly dumb, but also quite good. Okay. So this means now that the base system can also oops. So that means I can now predicate. So this means when the player goes in, hopefully all the lights will be dark. And that'd be quite cool. Oh, Pusskin, I'm so sorry I stopped touching you. I'm so sorry. Can I stop touching you yet? Are we done? No? Okay. We done? Can I stop now? The player has to basically just, you know, pull a lever. Well, currently they have to just edit. Right, so let's delete my world. At least the intro sequence annoys me a lot less than it used to. Come on. Come on. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, this smoke system needs to be redone. Like this, again, Todd needs to do this. I've just picked a texture that's probably about right. This is lots of stuff to do. So the player will go in, blip, blip. And then we'll go open. Well done, you made it to the base. Okay. And then those walls will go down. Hey, that was actually pretty cool. Okay, oops. Intro walls, I guess I'll call it. So yeah, I've said it's been interesting reading about Satisfactory because I haven't really read much good about it. So one of the Eurogamer article basically went about how cool it is to see your massive base nestling in the landscape and blah 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 blah, and how cool it felt and how good it looked and how cool it felt and how good it looked. And I'm like, how does the game play? Now, overall, Satisfactory is extremely polished, which is fine, but I genuinely and hilariously, I got so bored. I mean, I really got so bored of Satisfactory very quickly. It was just endless. I want to get on and do stuff, and building your conveyor run is just click, click, done. There's no challenge or interest or anything. So yeah, I was a bit, more than a bit underwhelmed. Oh, I forgot to assign it. Dang it. Take 3. That's how quick the intro is, though. Oh, that is quite cool. That is quite cool. I like that. Then hopefully the player will be like, ooh, and ah, and things. Ow. I'm trying to think, so I want the power core light to come on a bit later. kind of thinking about state machining here. I don't really know how complicated this is going to be. See, this is like when I get through the game, stuff happens quickly and easy. You just go add this, tweak that, this. But right now, I'm developing the very base level, the lowest level of how things will work, and it's getting this right. That's the difference between the future being a pain in the ass and the future being easy. I mean, to be honest, I might just note them down, even if I don't use them. So, E-state. Player has never entered base. Player CPH needs activating. Other things, like I don't know if it's linear. So for example, I don't know whether or not you can unlock suit upgrading before the laboratory or the med bay or after, or if it's always like that. I don't know. I just have no idea. And then we've got power core active. Okay, so if M state even if I don't use the state, it just collapses together a bunch of other variables. I used to have a very bad habit of having like Boolean bit fields, but then you end up with things like music is playing and music is looping and music is silent, stuff like that. So that avoids these sort of horrendous things. Okay, so let's pop this down here. Okay. Okay, so if M state equals okay, so when the walls, if M state equals CPH is activating set state dot. Oh, yeah. However, I am very pleased with how quickly the game generates. There's occasional glitches, and I actually think I might raise the entire CPH up or down by a meter to solve those. So here we are. We're not still getting dust, are we? What does the dust predicate off of? And then, oh, that didn't quite work. I'm not sure what the dust comes off of. I'm gonna have to do that again. I have to do it from the outside, I think. Actually, thinking about it, the player just needs a enter base, right? There's that one, and then the so that should be good to there, and then to that one. Okay, so where is this? Is it? Okay, cool. That should actually now hook up properly. Loading up. Okay, so the sandstorm's active. Yeah, that was quite cool. Now, what will happen, of course, there will be doors. They will lock behind you. You can't go back out. It doesn't work like that. Back in. Clicky bonk. This is your base. Okay. Well, so there won't really be a set. There will be a machine from which you can mess around with your base. Okay. Right, see that's how it should look. Like that. The lights come on. Oh, it is actually working. Maybe I need to just delay that away a bit more. It is working. Unity Base Manager. I think what's happening, I'm just getting so distracted by the walls falling. But mostly what this is, this forced walk is mostly to give the world a bit of time to generate. I will probably actually do a sort of loop. I had an idea on that. Time is at half an hour. Might try and fiddle with that. Yeah. Curious why we have to set this. Huh? How have we possibly got two? Don't know. I'm going to put that up a bit more. Wait, hold on. If the players are in the base and we're greater than... I need this should be equal... No, But I think that's just there, and then I need to say this is just a totally different set of and state greater than equal to power core active. Then the lights will come on after the power core is active. So the doors will go down when it's black. But as I said, Todd and I would like to redo the UI for all of this, but doing it in such a way that still allows mods. So overall, sadly, I was not, I can put this nicely, not very impressed, shall we say, with the number and quality and uptake of the mods. That's more down to the fact the game didn't sell very well rather than any sort of insult to the mods themselves. So, but... mods are potentially very important. So Daisy is a good example here. Daisy came out and more copies of their AmpuTea sold than anything else. So let me phrase it another way. We put an awful lot of time into we put an awful lot of time into mod support with almost no tangible benefit. There was no mod that meant that FortressCraft was a must-have product, sadly. I mean, Nick, I don't even want to have much time Nick spent. It was a huge amount of time. So we're going to continue to do so, but I'm not so fussed about it as I was. No, Steve, not at all. No. A good UI framework, yeah, is handcrafted panels, not generic ones built out of components. That's the problem. We've got one built out of components, and that becomes just suddenly really limiting relative to a bespoke UI. I mean, if you've ever used like music software, you'll know what I mean. They don't use generic off-the-shelf stuff. It's all glorious custom framework stuff. But it's a nightmare. The whole idea, everything's a nightmare. All of that is just a total nightmare. and not one I have a solution for. Yeah, but how it acts and how it looks is not the problem. No one complains, I don't think, about how the FortressCraft UI acts, just about how it looks. Interestingly, again, back to, what's that game called? Satisfactory. A friend of mine looked at it very briefly on my shoulder, went, that really looks like the FortressCraft UI. And I'm like, doesn't it just? Why is that active? Alright, something is turning it active. But I was surprised, given all the flack we've got over the years. It just looks a bit more, how to phrase it, like FortressCraft UI, but a bit less colourful. That's probably the one. Good, that's better. Thus goes, activate, yay, I made it. Walls come down. Lights come on. How do we have two? How do we have two missions? I don't understand. Okay. Like, I've only added one. And then I just set the text on it. Blip. Huh? I'm confused. I literally only add the mission once. Here. And that then gets added into the missions, which is a list of missions. I don't understand. Like, we don't re-add it. I'm just fiddling with the display text, which won't work for the old system, but should work for the new one. Yeah, I just literally run over all the current missions and add them there. How weird. I guess I'll pop a breakpoint in here. Unless it's being... I can't see a way this is happening. I add it once, and then I grab a handle to it, and I keep that handle to it, and then I don't mess with it. So we should get one, and only one, addition of a mission. Oh, that sounds cool. At this point. Put breakpoint in there too. We'll see what we get. Okay, so we're adding the mission in now. Cool. And then we are adding in the mission there. So we're actually adding mission set. Right, how is that null again? Huh? Oh. Wait, what thread are we on? No. Oh, we're not ready for it yet. Mission prefab is null. Mission prefab is null. Okay, we're adding it too early. Or we're trying to. When does the mission prefab become... That is, yeah, so that's going to include it for an update. That makes sense. This is at start. How is this happening before start? Let me rephrase the question. Why the fucking hell isn't that in awake, firstly? And what, do we re-grab it? Huh. Seriously? What the hell? Okay. Honestly, this is a terrible way of doing it. I can comment that out, ensure that's public, and the mission manager that's added. Survival player script, is that generated? Can I spell it? Survival player script. Okay, I'll add this into the UI manager. What is this? Game object. Public game object. Mission prefab, and that means I can just say here mission prefab equals This needs to be in a... Okay, so that needs to be in awake. Mission prefab equals UI manager dot instance dot mission prefab. And yeah. Right, that should resolve that. And let us make sure. So what was happening, I was adding it in, and eventually it would add in, but it already queued up a bunch by that point. Add mission. This should not have happened. That's an old bug. I'm glad I fixed that one. I forgot what I did. Oh, did I get any error messages? Yeah. Of note. Ah, no. Oh, that didn't assign it. Derp. Derper. What's it called? Quest something? Okay. Right, quest item. It's called quest item. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. It does clip. Ooh. Yeah, that also needs to not happen. Again, I suspect Todd and Andy will be reading a lot of these things so that, so they work a bit better. Amazing, I can jump so high, I can actually jump out of the ceiling. They do look cool though. Oh, my baby, I'm so sorry, what's wrong? He does this, like, he meows at me, and I give him attention, and he just goes and throws himself on his bed. I hate you. You don't understand me. I know I don't, Sifi, I don't. Now the thing is, some of the tutorial system, you say, well, I suspect I will probably end up with a new mission system that lets you do some stuff. For example, press H to open the handbook. I'm curious to see whether or not people even notice this system. I mean, I may have a big flashy light if there's a new message or a critical mission active or whatever. I don't really know. But again, that just works exactly as the old system. I suspect I need to feed the cat. Do you want to be fed? Do you want me to scratch your ear for you, you lazy bugger? You lazy puss. Lazy puss. Right. Let's go and feed the cat. You want to be fed. I'm sure he understands cameras, you know. I'm sure he does. You hate me. You hate me. But if I put noms in you, you'll love me again. The best thing about cats and people, you can buy their love with food. Right. Hey, back a minute, you watch. Is this telling me to go? Oh, interesting. I think it gives you several minutes for it to start telling you to go and... the world has to be up for several minutes before it starts telling you to go get ores. But this system, I suspect, will need some play testing by people who don't know what's going on rather than experienced people. I'm glad I fixed the reload issue though. I'll fix those set buffering. I don't have any particular specific goals today. I also suspect I'll probably, given stuff I need to get done, probably get about an hour. I will meander off But a lot of it's just making the everything better. Do I have a Trello up? Alter torch landing light. I might have a look at that in a second, actually. I've got an idea. Base airlock doors. Again, I want to get what I've got. I don't want to progress into new machines. I want to get what I've done polished up. As I said, I can't remember what it was. I think it's about 2 months. I've scheduled myself for quote unquote the first 5 minutes. It is the most important part. Base airlock doors. Internal collision for internal walls, internal doors, internal base doors. Survival injection entity must not spawn over base. I don't know whether to make this a new entity or a value on the previous entity. So the problem is the torch system. The torches are a bit of a weird hack. Now we actually do this on... Why didn't we do this on value? I'm trying to think, is anything I can easily nick. I'm trying to think if there's anything I don't use anymore I can quietly nick. Hello, Pusscat. I knew you'd come back. Like, I'm trying to think of a mothballed, non-processing machine. I can't think of anything. I don't really want to add something. Because these are all the special ones here. These are all the exceptions. Oh, unrelated. I have been working on the compute shader based instance renderer. So that means we don't need any game objects. And oh my god, is it fast. Like, properly and ridiculously fast, so that's cool. Sorry, did I distract you from licking yourself? I'm just wondering if it would be worth implementing some sort of generic aesthetic block. So this is a block that it has all the visibility, has all the room-based stuff, but and can control a lot. Actually, depends. I've got that. That's just any thing. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do for now is I will just going to do something just temporarily, just because I want to get the visuals, but I don't really care about making it right. So I'm going to comment that one out, and I bet you I don't have the bit I want. Now, what is it I need? Where do we have it? Andy, if you're there, do we have any arches of any sort? Almost literally half of those things, like half a pipe. I don't think we do. I can't think of any. That's not really what I had in mind. Actually, kinda. Kinda. But not really. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I can't think of any either, so we might need to... Okay. I'm going to tweet this while it's running anyway. I don't like the sandstorm idea because people will absolutely just wander off into it. I'm sure of it. So I'm just thinking about alternative options. What exactly am I after? Well, I'll show you. That's why I'm doing this as a torch. But I'm umming and ahhing about generic things. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is, hang on. About halfway? Yeah, it's probably not tall enough, is that? Something kind of like this. How low does it need to be? Let's just do that for a minute. That's one of the hardest parts about this is that I don't really know exactly what I want. Kind of know, sort of know, but not exactly. So I need to sort of poke around with different options. Kind of like this. Only all of these ones would also be 180 degrees, so. Yeah, so these ones will be like that. And then, I don't really know what this is supposed to be, but yeah, kind of like this, but not exactly, obviously. So we have a that sort of thing, kinda. Okay, so F oh, what? Right, there we go. But I can't think of anything that we've got at all, so I suspect we'll need to do it by hand. But you're more or less a tunnel / arch thing where players can look out and go, ooh, it's misty out, or, you know, there's a storm out, but without actually getting too close to the storm. Surprising. Don't think so. I suspect I don't have anything useful. I don't have anything. I'm surprised that it hasn't done anything there. Oh, yeah, of course. I need to delete it. I'll be honest. Oh, right, okay. What? That's not east and west, it's... Oh, fuck. I think I need to do... I think it's... top and west, I think. Although, honestly, I'm just can't... Oh, no. I think that's right, but it might be... It might be that. Yes, let's rotate clockwise. I think so. It's going to be... Oh, what the fuck? I love this comment. Inside the cold cave, switch to a different set. To do, check this is correct, and then comment, these are all modelled by a fucking spod. That's the one. So it's... There probably is a way of doing... Let me check, see if I have fixed it. If not, I will do it this horrendous way. Pardon me. That working? No. One of them is. One of them's not. I'll check in a sec, Andy. I mean, kinda. But the only problem with that is... Well, first it's not textured, apparently. What? It really is. There we go. Yeah, see, that's the roof, but that's not a thing. Let me get the rotation right anyway. I'm quite surprised that didn't work. But essentially what I need to do is that's top. If it's less than 0, then why has that become an int? Ugh, God. So flags equals top. Orientation becomes equals to... I'm sure there's an easy way of doing this, but I don't know what it is. Equal to that. And then LE flags equals... Okay, why do we need the word face? What? Okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. I could just write down the flags. And then flags becomes equal to that. Oh, this is not sensible. And then repeat. So that should rotate it by 180 degrees. That is definitely not sensible. Oh, I need to delete it. Yeah. Right, they're both top. It should be bottom, shouldn't it? top is oh no, let's not do this at the minute. I know I will, but let's not do it at the moment. What I can do, as long as you promise not to comment, build from entity. Please let's not call it PCP. Wow, that's a longer than I thought. Wait, that's not the right material. Yeah, possibly, Andy, but it isn't mapped. I can't believe I don't have anything even vaguely suitable. Yes, what I mean is something. With a lot, I mean, I've already warned Andy, with a lot of this stuff, the goal is very much to kit bash it together. Wait, how is that? Yeah, the goal is very much to kit bash it together and then later on make it better. So I was overall very impressed with Satisfactory's polish, just not any of the rest of it. Did say. And I said I have been following posts about it and found it fascinating. People are talking so much about the graphics and very little about the game. Now, whether or not that means it will be a commercial success, I don't know. I have also been following their, how to phrase this, some of their PR failures. They've kind of just put like a big fuck you up to all the people who actually care about this. I know some Factorio style players that thing, and they did this press release and they just, I don't really know what's going on. We'll see. The more they screw up, the better I am. Happier I am. Oh, that looks rubbish. Oh, no, I say it looks very nice. It really looks gorgeous overall, but it'll be a rare day when I play a game because it looks pretty. And to be honest, I say it's exactly like It'll come to me. Astroneer. Astroneer has exactly the same issue, or had the same issue. It looked really nice. It looked really polished. And I said at the time, there's no way that you can have a game in early access that looks polished unless one of two things happen, or in Astroneer's case, both. Either development will be very, very, very slow, which it was, or it won't change very much from initial ship to final ship, which it didn't. And I suspect Satisfactory the same. I suspect there'll be nothing apart from... what's the word? You'll only get very minor changes between now and quote-unquote release. Yeah, something a bit more like that. But yeah, as I said last week, Satisfactory is exactly what I expected. It didn't surprise me in the slightest. Very pretty, but I felt very shallow, very simple, kind of boring, but really, really, really pretty. Now whether that's enough to sustain an entire game, I don't know. I suspect probably not, but we'll see. Thankfully, FortressCraft is already a good game, and all I need to do is make it prettier and better. Even that looks a bit cooler. Yeah, now you see, Robert, bullshit. Okay? If you're playing a computer game, right, and you're getting migraines, yeah, see a fucking doctor. I had one guy on, what was it? On Reddit going about this. He's like, oh, you know, the bright things in FortressCraft give me headaches and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, really, really, really? That's a serious medical condition. I said, and first, because he was going about there's so much contrast. I was like, well, we'll turn down the contrast then. Like, that's a thing. Like, if your vision is so unbelievably fucked, and I mean fucked, that you are getting a headache off of contrast, see a doctor. Like I said, I'm not being funny to this guy. I'm like, that's the sort of thing that I would consider to be signs of brain tumours then. Like, that is really something scary, like genuinely. I'm trying to think of any flashing lights in FortressCraft apart from the lifts. No. It is not. No, if people have a condition, right, you are talking about an incredibly rare condition, genuinely rare. Yeah, so rare, the chances of your mate actually having it is approximately zero. And this is one of the problems I have with FortressCraft. You get comments like, oh, the bright colours gave me a headache. I'm like, well, first of all, no, they didn't. What you've just said is a lie. They didn't. There is almost literally no chance that is actually true. That's the first thing. Very important to note. Almost no chance. Secondly, if that is the case, you need to see a doctor. That is a serious medical condition. It can be a brain tumour, that could be epilepsy. That is a serious, genuine medical condition. Which leads me back to point one, you're lying. Two, if it is something you genuinely, absolutely do have an issue with, which, point one, you don't, then your computer, your NVIDIA control panel, or whatever, what the fuck, or whatever version you know, NVIDIA, has options for this, which you should deal with. And this is what people going, oh, it's so bright. Like, why is your if you genuinely get headaches from brightness, why is your monitor that bright? I don't know. But my point is, yeah, Robert, your buddy does not get headaches and migraines from flashing lights in FortressCraft. He's lying. And that's why I have to continually fight this fight. No, almost nobody does. 0.00001% people actually, genuinely have issues with this. And your mate is not one of them. He is being a cock. He doesn't like the game for whatever reason, and he's finding ways to have a go at it. Or he has a serious and genuine medical condition and he needs to see a professional. Now, which do we think it is going to be? I know which one I think it's going to be. I've had to decide. I have to continually fight my corner. Otherwise, FortressCraft will end up with a reputation that it causes headaches. That's why I need to fight it. That's the thing. No, Robert, I know what I'm talking about. I have done quite a lot of stuff. I worked on a game called DJ Hero. I worked on it and it had to be shipped on the Nintendo platform. And because of Nintendo's insane paranoia about epilepsy, yeah, I had to do an enormous amount of investigation and learning about the physiological effects of lights, flashing lights, bright things. And then I have done many years of VR stuff. I know an enormous amount about the physiology of epilepsy, of balance, of all of this stuff. So when someone says to me, oh, I'm getting a migraine from bright lights, I'm like, oh, have you seen a doctor? Oh, no. All right, if you know, at the very least, have you looked at the gamma curves on your monitors so you don't get much contrast? Oh, no. Right, so I see at this point I stop believing you. Or, again, you have a potential serious medical condition and you're not doing anything about it. It's when people are going on about, the other one's eye strain. The concept of eye strain due to brightness. It's like, that's not a thing. The most you'll get is if you've got an incredibly bright screen in a dark room and you look from the bright to the dark, your eyes will adjust. And if they're adjusting quickly, it can hurt a little bit. But there's no such thing as eye strain. You put the optics in and your vision doesn't go blurry. It's just not a thing. It's in the same way your mum told you not to sit near the screen because your eyes will go square. It's exactly the same sort of, what's the word? It's not pseudoscience. It's not science at all of any sort. It's just, I don't know what to describe it. There's a term for it. Pseudo medicine. I don't know the word. Point is, if you ever get headaches from playing computer games, go and see a doctor. If you get this on VR stuff. No, hold on. You're going wildly off now into motion sickness and VR sickness. Yeah, that's a very, very, very different set of circumstances to flashing lights or high contrast or high brightness. Motion sickness, I can extensively take you through the issues behind motion sickness. And that's very, very, very different. And generally, with that, your option there is sit a bit further back from the screen. That's your solution for motion sickness. Head bob off is another one, but that is not the same as bright flashy lights. You're talking about not motion sickness; it's the other one. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Borgonzo. So some guy was going about how FortressCraft is too bright. I'm like, turn the brightness down. And he wanted a brightness control in FortressCraft. I'm like, if you're having that problem, just turn the brightness on your monitor. So I've got a lovely monitor. It's very, very, very bright. It's almost too bright. But it looks really cool because of that. And at night, I don't ever run my monitor at full brightness with the rest of the room in darkness. Robert, again, if you actually do some investigation into what triggers photosensitive epilepsy, and it is such an incredibly narrow set of circumstances is to be almost ignorable. And flashing lights can't make you have a headache. That's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. There is no medical condition where flashing lights gives you a headache, unless you are potentially susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and the things. But when you're talking about this, you're talking about LPTs, right? I mean, I guess if you stuck your face in it, but otherwise you're talking about an LPT in FortressCraft taking up what, a couple of % of the screen, or he genuinely suffers from mild photosensitive epilepsy. Again, see a doctor. That's not good. And for some reason, he's sticking his face in the laser. Oh, did I quit at the wrong point? Can't see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, no, epilepsy in general, I said, this is why when someone says to me, I get headaches from playing the FortressCraft because it's so bright, I'm like, see a doctor. This is really, can be very, very, very serious. Absolutely serious. But the thing is, Ariel, just on epilepsy is a thing, and it's not very common, thankfully. Photosensitive epilepsy is even less common. It's unbelievably uncommon. So few people have it. Genuinely super, super, super rare. But you're talking about flashy lights from the lasers. Are we gonna give us some power? Like this, like, my eyes. Robert, you're talking about alpha wave. Yeah. Again, there's more pseudoscience than reality on those. Go away, Arthur. But this is what I mean, when people are going, oh, the flashy lights in FortressCraft, argh! I refuse to believe anybody in the history of history would have had a problem with that. I mean, possibly, but I don't think it's very likely. This is why I don't give any credit to people who tell me things like this, because it's just not really sensible to state those things. I think, and even if you do that, we're still not talking about particular. I can't even make it happen. I mean, again, if you go, but like, why would you do that? Yeah, but Yaziriel, of those, how many are photosensitive epilepsy? I can't remember. It's ridiculous. It's like 1 in a million. It's a very small number, because epilepsy and photosensitive things stressful. Wow, stressful. How old's your brother, Robert? Does he still live at home? Has he been out into the real world? Don't get me wrong, FortressCraft doesn't look exactly the way I'd like it to. Mostly, it's sometimes it's just a bit too saturated. Like here, it's not how it's going to be looking. I'm going to have to do a special set of lights for those. Hey, where's the sun? There we go. It's very little in FortressCraft that actually even... Because someone says to me, game's too bright. And I'm like, well, you know, I've got a full I've got a full gamut and I try and use it. It's very rare anything in the game is white. I mean, if you look down here, I mean, that's obviously, it's probably not actually white. Yeah, I can't imagine anyone ever calling this stressful. To be fair, I like Astroneer, but for the exact opposite reason. I think Astroneer is a very calm and cute and adorable game. Is it really that much, your cereal? I'm. Wait, 5% of epilepsy. You mean 1 in 20,000? No, 4 per 100 is 1 in 250. 5% of that. Yeah, Shauka, I don't think FortressCraft suffers from sensory overload. It's also worth pointing out, in FortressCraft, yeah, it's your base. You made it. You designed it. You put it together. I don't force a base on you. That's the other thing. I have over the years seen so many comments on the game's too bright and it's too flashy. It's oversaturated. I'm like, it's your base. You design it, you put it together. According to the Epilepsy Society, 1% of people have epilepsy. I suspect this is a very broad definition of it. So they reckon 1% of people have epilepsy and 3% of those have photosensitivity. I should probably point out, by the way, I don't know where you're getting your information from. I'm getting it from epilepsy.org.uk, which is Epilepsy Action. And I notice the two numbers that we've got are radically different. This one says 3% of people have epilepsy. So 1% of people have epilepsy, and of those, 3% have photosensitive epilepsy. So that's like wildly different. Whereas Wikipedia, which quotes some post, says 5% of people with epilepsy. my point is, my point is, whatever number that you've come up with, whatever number they're just radically different. What toon shader? We don't run a toon shader. A lot of the, as I was saying about it's your base, design it how you want it. That is why a lot of I'm forcing the players into building rooms, because a player has a huge amount more control over what happens in a room than in the world. That's been a huge amount of my push towards rooms, is to sort of say to the player, you're in control. Make it dark, make it light, make it garish, make it boring. It's up to you. And it's something I've said, to be honest, over the whole of FortressCraft development. The world is your bitch. Do what you want with it. You are absolutely 100% in control of your world. make the most of that. And I still see people just not. I wonder where I can't stand the icon for this. I can never find it. And it's got a green arrow on it, I think. I know it's got an arrow. No, Rob. Then that's why I stream, is to chat about stuff, and also to learn. And also to learn stuff. I say it's fascinating. Zerial has found the Wikipedia entry, which is based on a research. I found epilepsy.org, which is some British thing. And then we found the WHO, and it's all completely different numbers on the rate of photosensitive epilepsy, which is fascinating. I mean, it's a bit like autism. The argument is that everybody is autistic, just to a differing degree, which is fine. It's a bit like saying everyone's racist to a different degree. That, sure. But the point is that man, I don't have enough power. The point is if you want to make it look like lots of people are epileptic, you pick one end of the spectrum, and if you want to make it look like not many people are epileptic, you pick the other end of it. There's no toon shader. No, absolutely not. Toon shader is a shader that quantizes color depth and generally adds a hard edge. But no, I don't have anything like that. God, no. I've got quite a high complexity specular shader. I mean, it's supposed to look surreal. I mean, that is definitely part of the game's goal, is to look like an alien landscape. That's the other way people are going, oh, it looks blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it is an alien landscape. That's how this alien landscape looks. I can't zoom and build in the editor because that's Control Z, which just undoes. Thanks, Unity. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger again. Yeah, I might try and speed this up a bit. Like, the speed of Super Build is designed to not cause much in the way of performance hits. That doesn't necessarily mean that it can't get more out of it. I tuned this a very long time ago. I'm not sure what you mean, by the way. You find awesome that what works like what? Yeah, Robert, if you look at, you talk about the toon shader stuff, I mean, you can see there. I mean, certainly even more so with the new shaders. I mean, it's absolutely not toony at all. Ah! It's weird. Honestly, whatever I do, people complain. It's too toony, it's too realistic, it's too metallic, it's too contrasty, it's too dark, it's too bright. Nothing I can do will ever make people happy. It's not much of a delay. The delays there just so the game has a chance to finish building the previous bit before it builds the next bit. That's all. It's pretty quick, though. It's quite hard to outrun it. Oh well, I'm not really doing a proper build. So it sort of has a purpose. It's mostly just so it doesn't get overloaded. Where's the sun? There it is. What I like there is if you build... it also tries to be responsive, so it builds the last thing you did first. So now you can just ignore those. They'll get on with it. Then you can start doing something else. And then you can ignore those and start doing something else. And then you can ignore that. And then it will respond to you as quickly as it can. But I am tempted to make it easier for players to build rooms. But no specific plans. But how am I going to put this? So, something I have explained many times, and it doesn't seem to have quite... People have asked me, can you make the building of the rooms really quick so I can just click build? And I said, well, the thing is, I need time sinks in the game. And then when I said this, people have gone, oh, yeah, you're just padding the game out. And I'm like, well, I need you to have stuff to do. Now, if I don't have these time sinks, what happens is very simply going, oh, I'm just waiting around. And I'm like, well, I don't want you to wait around. I always want you to have something to be done. Well, co-op hosting, there are plenty of things that require a room. So you obviously haven't built everything in the game. And there are a number of reasons to choose to build a room, starting with performance, starting with visuals, aesthetics. There are also, if you're building a room in a cavern, you can then make a room negate the effect of the cavern. So, but FortressCraft 2 is absolutely going to force you to build rooms. There's no two ways about it. You will be building a base, not a collection of stuff on the surface. No ifs, no buts. That is what is going to happen. Quite surprised you haven't even bothered to build one though. They're very cool. I like the rooms just purely for the cool factor. Even more so when I don't mess up building them. Yeah, but Yaziro, again, as I said, rooms at least partially exist as a time sink. They exist as a way to give the player something to do. If you spend 10 minutes doing your room, then all your machines have been working for 10 minutes. You spent 10 minutes doing something hopefully enjoyable. And your machines have spent 10 minutes collecting resources or whatever it is those particular machines were doing. What did I just build? There we go. Building rooms is a player time sink, amongst other things. Again, don't focus too much on the time sink part. My point is, the reason I haven't made it click bonk, here's a room, is first of all the rooms look the same, because they'll be whatever rooms I design. Secondly, rooms are, to a degree, a time sink. They are something for the player to spend time doing. It is a computer game. It is, by definition, supposed to be a time sink. Hey, there's a room. I think that would be the lights. Yeah, the reason I made the room is say partly just to point out what I was saying earlier, is you get to control the room. Even more so if you actually manage to click properly. Yeah, that's kind of the point I was making. Is you say you get to control the look and feel of rooms. to the nth degree. They are your rooms. Do with them whatever you want. Yeah, the thing is with the auto room builders, I said you've either got to build your first room and then copy it. I don't know. I haven't got a good solution for this, but it's something. Given that rooms will be a fundamental part of FortressCraft 2, it is something that I will need to spend some time thinking about. But check out the fancy pants new shader. I like it. All apart from, why is that? How strange. Like it suddenly gets darker there. I don't know why. But yeah, the new shade. I do like the new shade. I think it looks rather nice. I'm gonna put that in the Patreon channel. Oh, what's going on there? That's not right. Because it's daytime. So I've rewritten a lot of the atmospherics and things. No, I'm not mistaking anything. The point I'm making is that there are a number of solutions. You can have prefab rooms, you can have a room builder, you can have, what did I just click on? You can have build one part of the room and the rest of the room builds. There are lots of solutions. However, I personally do not find building rooms particularly time consuming. And at the times when I have built a room and it has taken a while, as a general rule of thumb, that's not something I have begrudged the game, because I have been... my base is automated. And because my base is automated, if I spend half an hour doing something, it doesn't really matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because I have... my base is just advanced. And nearly always, if you are fully automated, you're waiting on your base. It's not... sometimes you're the base's limiting factor, but quite a lot of the time you'll set it up and then it will do stuff, and that's how it works. Oh, is that the ambient? Might be the gun ref map screwing us up. Yeah, I mean, it should do. Why is that? That's really weird. Oh, I'm only recalculating the... yeah. There we go. And the light comes on now. Thank you. Yeah, ignore this. These are just not the right lights. It's a bit tedious, but it's not going to be exciting, is it? It's not going to be like a mini game. It's kind of by definition going to be a bit tedious, but if I take that out, so over the course of, let's say, 100-hour game of FortressCraft, how many hours do you spend building rooms? Let's say 5%. I don't know what the number is. Let's say 5%. Do you begrudge 5% of your time spent building rooms? Probably not. You might do. That's up to you. But probably that's not the case. Yeah, Alex, all right. Right, it's just about time for me to stop, make a build, and head out. Ooh, that's a bit odd. Yes, U0, but if you're auto-filling it, then it's no longer a time sink. You do get that part of it, right? It's not simply a tool. It's not simply aesthetics. It is also something for the player to do. You might as well be arguing... well, hey, we might as well be arguing, let's make it like satisfactory and make it so conveyors auto build. Like, it's that sort of an argument. It is to a degree a time sink. That's the point. I need to balance off time sinks of this is an interesting time sink versus this is a tedious time sink. You know. So I quite like building rooms overall. Yeah, so conversely, I do agree with you that it would be nice to be automated, but automation's mostly about setting something up and then letting it work for a long time. So yeah, I'm torn between. It would be nice to. I might do it so you can build them. Like maybe there's enough game not to worry about it. Maybe I can just pop them in. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But for those of you who are patrons, I am updating the build now. It's not a time sink as such. It's not a time sink for the hell of it. The point is, because it's a game about automation, it gives the players something to do that takes between 5 minutes and an hour. Because if you do a room like I did, it's ever so quick to do. It really is just quick. So you can spend as much or as little time on it as you like. Now remember, if you're playing multiplayer, when you get enough players into the game, you do have an issue that you do end up waiting on the smelters. So it's good to have more to do. I tell you what, the amount of articles Eurogamer is doing about Satisfactory, I wonder how much they're being paid for it. Well, I mean, the feng shui in the FortressCraft rooms, it's mostly did you build enough heaters and things. I don't know. It's one of those that I will probably look at something, but I don't really think there will be a system much better than Super Build. Really, I just don't. Upload Win64. Okay. Yes, but you even without rooms, you still would place the inside of what is in a room. Anyway. I hope that made sense. I'm not sure it did. Like, you would build that anyway. That's just the game. It's just that you can spend more time making rooms really cool and look pretty and paint them up nicely. I don't know. It's possible I might make a auto room machine and you pop it down and it just creates like an 11 by 11 room, and then you can tweak it if you want to. I don't know. It's one of those that I have got a lot to do. The first, quote unquote, the first 5 minutes is my main focus for the next 2 months, approximately 2 months. Scanning. Uploading. Cool, uploaded. Oh, well, I won't ever remove the ability to build your own rooms. Improve base, startup, sequence. Your complimentary Patreon only build is now updated. Enjoy. The thing is, Robert, something I have touched on before, and I will go over this just quickly before I finish because stuff to do. This is something Steve found when he did his mod for the freight mod. His freight mod was perfect and needed no work doing, right until you make it into vanilla, and then suddenly stuff is not as good as you think it needs to be. And this happens quite a lot. It's fairly amusing. So how can I describe it? There is a higher level of quality and balance needed for this than for a vanilla than you do for generic. Because you said, I mean, immediately off the bat, you said it just needs power. Well, in that case, that's already a problem, because usually my bottleneck for rooms is not the super build click time. It's not the waiting for super build to build. It's, do I have enough paste? And that, so immediately, again, we can tweak it, we can change it. Those are all possible things. But because it's a system that fundamentally and radically alters how building rooms works, and are we doing that? That seems quite a fundamental and radical change. So yeah, it's lots of questions, lots of possible solutions. Let's chat about the future. So next week is the usual thing. I'm still waiting back on Mixer. So I have been working on the Gnome game, but I have been working on the home version of the Gnome game. I've also been working on the survival game. There is potentially some really big news happening on that, but I won't bring that up until everything is signed and done. But for those of you who only care about FortressCraft 2, and I realise that's nearly everyone who watches, that's fine. I will be streaming again next week. I might do some stuff over the weekend. I actually have quite a lot of stuff. Quite a lot of spare time this weekend. Robert, I just haven't bothered streaming the rest of the week because no one watches. Honestly, some of it is it's the games are in too early a state. So I will probably be streaming the Gnome game again once I've got confirmation that we're definitely doing it. But yeah, I'm always around. I can't be. When I'm streaming it is genuinely exhausting. If you've never tried to stream Antor, it is very, very exhausting. doing it for, well, I mean, I really made myself quite ill earlier this year already, so I don't want to, not going to overdo it. And just sitting here all day long and talking to myself with 3 or 4 people, it's not worth it. But definitely Fridays. We'll stick with Fridays. I am going to go out in a moment into the great outdoors and enjoy the sunshine. Other than that, patrons that you should have access to your build should be up and live now. I actually never made it live. I did make it live, right? Yeah. So the build is live for patrons. Feel free to have a play. I'm happy on feedback on anything I've done. Like, not things like you can walk through walls, because if you say to me, hey, dude, you can walk through walls, you're going to get a very sarcastic response. But that's a good idea. Or, how about this? Or, I don't feel this bit works. Or, this is cool, that's a good idea. But yeah, but pretty much just people aren't so interested in the non-FortressCraft stuff I do. And it is genuinely exhausting. Once the other games get to a better, further through state, it should be a bunch more interesting. So I'm going to head off now, guys. So cheers for watching. Please enjoy the build if you're playing it, and if you're not playing it, then do as a reminder, you can always become a patron and get access to FortressCraft as it is being developed. And let's do that. So please enjoy, and I'm always around to chat or to ask questions, and I will see you guys. I will see you guys next Friday if I don't see you before. So take care, have fun. Just before we go, Sifi is having a dream. No more dreams. Okay. No, Sifi. See you guys.